youbou Waterfront Market Report. When people see a month with no waterfront sales in youbou, it's easy to assume the market has stalled. But waterfront real estate on Couch and Lake doesn't work like most markets. A single sale can completely change the monthly statistics, which is why I prefer to look beyond the headlines and focus on the longer-term trends. The Vancouver Island Real Estate Board is reporting 2 new waterfront listings, 0 waterfront sales, and 7 active waterfront listings in youbou for May 2026. Now compared to May 2025, new listings increased from 1 to 2, sales declined from 1 to 0, and active inventory increased from 5 to 7. Over the past 12 months, 16 waterfront homes were listed and 7 sold, resulting in a sell-through rate of 43.75%, which is up from 37.5% during the previous 12-month period. Total waterfront sales volume increased from 11.8 million to 14.4 million, while the average sale price increased 4.3% from approximately 1.97 million to 2.06 million. Those numbers tell us buyers have not disappeared. In fact, the 12-month trend is stronger than it was a year ago. What makes the current market interesting is not the number of sales, but how those sales occurred. When I reviewed the MLS history behind the 7 waterfront homes that sold over the past year, I found that 5 of the 7 had already been exposed to the market before they eventually sold. Some had expired, others had been canceled and relisted. Several underwent significant price reductions before finding a buyer. One waterfront home appears as a 0-day sale in its final MLS record. However, the property's listing history shows it had already spent 123 days on the market at a higher asking price before being relisted and sold. Another waterfront home started at 2.45 million, was canceled, relisted, and ultimately sold at 1.85 million. A third property began at 2.89 million before eventually selling for 2.3 million. What this tells me is that the market is not rejecting waterfront homes. The market is rejecting certain prices. This is very different from the pandemic market of 2021 when 13 or 14 waterfront listings sold and buyers were aggressively competing for inventory. Today's buyers have more options, more negotiating power, and more time to make decisions. Sellers still achieve strong prices, but they are increasingly being required to prove value to the market. The youbou waterfront market appears to have found a new balance. Average sale prices remain near record highs, exceeding $2 million. But annual sales activity has stabilized at approximately 7 sales per year. That's well below the pandemic peak, but considerably stronger than the slowdown experienced in 2022 and 2023. Today, there are 7 active waterfront listings competing for buyers in a market that has produced 7 sales over the past year. Several of those active listings have already undergone price reductions, while others have returned to the market after previous listing attempts. The key takeaway from May is that the youbou waterfront market remains active, but the price discovery process is taking longer than it did during the pandemic years. Buyers are still participating in the market, but they are being selective. Sellers who align their pricing with market expectations are finding buyers. Sellers who chase yesterday's prices are often experiencing longer marketing periods, price reductions, expired listings, and relisting before a sale occurs. From a market movement perspective, the final sale is only part of the story. To understand how the market is really behaving, you need to follow the complete listing history and watch how buyers and sellers gradually negotiate their way towards actual market value. If you're thinking about buying or selling waterfront property in youbou, I'd be happy to help. I live and work on Cowichan Lake, and I follow this waterfront market every day. Whether you're looking for an updated market valuation, considering selling your property, or searching for the right waterfront home, feel free to reach out. I'm Jason Anson with eXp Realty, and thanks for watching the youbou Lakefront Market Report. If you'd like to continue following the Cowichan Lakefront Market, make sure you subscribe to my channel and then check out the Honeymoon Bay and Lake Cowichan Market Report videos with links in the descriptions as well. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next video.